Okay, I think we are live. Of course, a couple of minutes early as per usual. I always like to do sound checks and that sort of thing before we actually get started. So if we can just do a quick sound check, let me know if I sound okay. I think I got the audio sync thing sorted. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But hopefully audio sounds good. Video is what it is. Cool. Everybody's giving me the thumbs up on that. Thank you guys so much for clearing that up, making sure that that we can communicate here and that everything sounds and looks good. Glad to hear that. Man, maybe I should. Audio good and seems in sync. Outstanding. We had a bit of an issue with that last week and even the week before. Because I changed my camera setup. I was using the Elgato Facecam Pro. Despite it being a $300 webcam, it gave me webcam results that I just wasn't happy with, despite having used it for several months. It's great for certain things, but my Panasonic GH4, it's a DSLR. It just gives me better video. But the mini PC that I've been rocking for the last however long, the Minis Forum UM880 Plus, great little device. But like two USBs. These are USB 3s. We got two USB 2s and a USB 4 on the back, and that's all of its I/O effectively. So trying to run through, and it's also got Oculink, which was fine. But just very limited on the, very limited on the input output USB stuff. So right now I'm using the GMK Tech K12, and it's a beast. I released a short about it yesterday about a really cool feature that I've realized that it had. If you haven't checked that out, you definitely should. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. But despite them having more or less the same processor in it, this one, the GMK Tech seems to be a bit more beefy and better suited for my needs. So I think that's definitely contributing to this everything being in sync. So hopefully we keep that going. Yeah, the K12 it's such a good little PC. I'm gonna put it through its paces. I've already done some gaming on it. Obviously we've done some streaming on it. We're doing some streaming on it. I'm real excited about this one. So hopefully you guys and other people will check it out when it actually goes live. So yeah, to answer, Biz Starters says HomeDock is different than CasaOS, right? They are in the same vein based on my understanding. There's just kind of a different approach taken to it as far as I can tell. I think there's a pretty good chance that at least part of the HomeDock team will be on the stream today, hanging out in chat, hopefully being able to answer some questions. I believe they're in Spain. So they're several hours ahead, but right on the same time frame as a lot of you guys over there across the pond. But this just kind of popped up into my purview in the last few days. Because the live stream last week went so well, where we took a look at another home operating or a home server operating system, I thought this would definitely be kind of a good way to follow that live stream up and do something similar enough, but just different enough as well. Again, we're going into this one completely blind, other than having read through some of their documentation, that sort of thing. But we're going to use the same B-Link that we used last week. It handled our last little project really well. So we're gonna kind of go through some of that here in a little bit. Yeah, and we're gonna try out. Hopefully that's an email. Yep, that is the email saying, "Hey, we're live." Yeah, that's kind of the plan. But thank you guys so much. I know some of you have been hanging out for a while, and I really appreciate the enthusiasm. It definitely helps my brain, actually, which is kind of an ego thing, if I'm being completely honest, knowing that people are hanging out waiting for the stream to start. So I really appreciate you guys. So let's see, we've got some new faces or some new names in here that I haven't seen before. So I want to scroll back up. Rockstar 5 was the first one. I think this was actually yesterday. He left a comment. We've got Rusty J65 2008. We've got Vaz in here as well. Jason Budney, Mindbend, Biz Starters. We've got Vaz in here. Some random dude is in here as well. Tyler Pierce. Who else? Spectacular Austin. Glad to have you here as well. Man, I know I'm going to screw this up. Jow Back Milsom. I know I butchered that. I apologize. I barely speak English most days. So when I see names with little squigglies that we don't have, I know I butcher them. I'm sorry. Fish Frog is here as well. Glad to have you guys here. And of course, that was a big jump. Got to scroll back up so I can figure out where we were. There we were. Fish Frog, I mentioned. JD's here. Glad to have you here. Mandy, Alexia, just Alexia. Glad to have you here as well. Some random dude bows. I appreciate that. Rockstar Fun says, I recently got your channel. Your content's amazing. I love it. Keep going. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're now part of the community. We've been doing this, man, just over 6 years now here on this channel. It's kind of when I got into like self-hosting, home servers, that sort of thing. I would learn something and make a video, and I'd learn something new and make a video. And a lot of my earlier videos are super cringe and awful, as far as especially knowing what my level of knowledge was as I was making those videos. I was such a poser then, and now I've got a whole different mindset of imposter syndrome. So I've gone from one extreme to the other, I think. Why is my phone buzzing? It shouldn't be. Oh, that's okay. So, Flaming Forever says, hi from Trinidad. Glad to have you here. Thanks so much. Random Dude says, stream quality is great. I can read the names running in the background. That's the goal. Actually, that is the goal. In fact, now my face is a little bit, I got to refocus the camera now. I can do it this way, and hopefully there it goes. Yeah. So, yeah, I like to put these names up here. These are people who have supported either via becoming a channel member, whether they paid for it or it was gifted to them. That happens a lot on here on these live streams. Or if you're a patron, your name. These are channel members. I actually need to figure out some way. Oh, geez, that was no good. I need to readjust a couple of things there so that those are easier to read. But the camera, maybe if I just turn this a little bit, turn it just a little bit. There we go. That's better. Awesome. Let's see. Jordan T2 says, been here since Chrome OS. That's bonkers, dude. That's insane. You know, it's funny. I still have that same Chromebook. It's actually in a closet in the house. I don't even know what operating system is on it at this point. But yeah, that's crazy that you've been hanging out that long. I really appreciate that. That's what, 6, 7, 8 years, something like that. That's insane. Discovered Biz Starter says, I discovered you through OMV. That's good. Those were some of my first videos. The first self-hosting video I made was about Plex, but it was on Open Media Vault 4. I shared it on Reddit and got eviscerated, but rightfully so. Again, I was very new to the whole thing. And somebody was like, this is stupid. You're wasting your time. You're wasting everybody else's time. Because Open Media Vault 4, the Plex install for that was, the Plex install on that was, just a plugin. And then it was end of life. Open Media Vault 4 was end of life as I was making that video. And somebody just eviscerated me and was like, hey, if you're going to do this, do it in Open Media Vault 5 and learn Docker. And that's genuinely where my adventure in Docker started, was somebody tearing me up for all the right reasons on Reddit. And when I messaged him, I'm like, dude, I don't have, you said a lot of words I don't know. And he pointed me in some directions and got me started. I should go back and find that guy in my chats and send him flowers or something. Like, if it hadn't been for him pushing me in the right direction, I may not have even gotten into the levels that we've talked about over the past several years. So, you're gonna make my daughter sigh and give the hand gesture. Yeah. I never understood that. I know it's about a song and a basketball player. The most in-depth information I got was when South Park kind of did their thing on it with Cartman, in one of the newer, or in the last season, one of the newer episodes of the last season, where he ended up getting, anyway, that's all of my knowledge on it. I think it's silly, but when I was a kid, I probably did a lot of stupid stuff too. So it is what it is. I got Plex on it, still working fine. That's awesome. Let's see, just go along, try to be hip and cool. Sometimes that's all you can do. Honestly, it's one of the reasons, like, every once in a while, if you're new here, our son is on the very severe end of the autism spectrum, where he needs constant assistance with literally everything in his life. And luckily, as a result of that, he doesn't catch on to some of the trends that are going on, that sort of thing. So we, despite having a teenager, don't have to endure a lot of those new things that are going on. So I'm actually really thankful for that. Sometimes little blessings in disguise, 5456 says that's all is. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to go along with it and hope you don't look too stupid in the process. Nighthawk is here, says hello all. Glad to have you here, man. If you're not familiar, Nighthawk is a moderator here on the channel, but also over on the Discord. So if you're not on the Discord, you should be. There's a link to it in the video description down below. Jan, thank you so much for gifting a membership. That was way louder than I meant it to be. Thank you for gifting the membership. Super appreciate that. I need to turn that down. There we go. Not DW has become a member as a result of that. So there you go. For the next month, you'll get notified when I release videos for members. That'll be early access and no ads on videos for members, and videos for patron members, channel members and patrons, get early access and no ads on the videos. So HomeDockOS says, yo, glad to have you here. I was chatting with these guys yesterday and a little bit this morning over on Twitter. These are the guys behind our topic of today's discussion. So yeah, we're here in a little bit. We'll jump over and we'll take a look at the HomeDock.cloud website. We'll kind of dig through some of that and talk about what's going on there. I haven't actually done much research on anything HomeDock related, other than we're going to use we're going to throw Debian up on that B link that's back there, and then we're going to run a script that should hopefully install everything that we need to get going. See, Jordan T2 says, I'm still running Plex through OMV and Docker. Of course, that's all running in a Proxmox VM with backups. That's awesome. That is a lot of nesting that you've done there. But I've done similar stuff. I've currently got TrueNAS running in a VM on Proxmox, and within TrueNAS, I've got a few different Docker containers as well. So I've done something similar. However, my Plex install is just a VM over on Proxmox with a Intel Sparkle A310 GPU passed through for transcoding and that sort of thing. So that's kind of how my setup is. Big fan. Oh, did we crap out? Oh no, sorry, we had a little stutter in my window over here. Yeah, sounds like Inception. It is a little bit, because then I've got several hard drives from the man, my brain just shut off. From from the Zima Cube, I've got some hard drives passed through to TrueNAS, and then all of those hard drives get backed up to a NAS that's higher up in my rack. It's a whole debacle. My camera's gone out of focus again. I really got to set my focus manually, I think. I'll have to get Mrs. DB Tech out here so she can sit and I can focus or something. I got to figure something out because this is annoying. Oh, man. Let's see. Some random dude says, welcome. We wait to learn. Nestor says, hi there. Jose says, hello. Vaz says, brain, blue screen, need more RAM. Dude, sometimes, man. I've had 2 cups of coffee this morning. I'm working on some more tea. This is the same tea that we reviewed a couple of weeks ago. It's still really good. Still a big fan. Oh man, that's so good. Yeah, no, thank you guys. Thank you guys, everybody, for hanging out right now. New to this stuff, got Pi-hole and crypto node running on my Pi. But these things are addicting. It's so true, man. It's so true that that this is addicting. In fact, it was one of the things in a social media post that I made recently. I asked the question of, like, what's something that you wish you knew before getting into this? Or be a bit of advice that you wish somebody had given you. And somebody just responded with KISS. Of course, it's keep it simple, stupid. And yeah, it took me like 5 years to figure out, sometimes simple is better. I used like this rack is so overloaded or so grandiose for what's going on in there. Man, come on, focus here. There we go. Weird. I would think with it being like the focal point being right there that it would lock onto me. I don't know what it's doing, but Vass says, Dan, that's not a cup of tea. It's a swimming pool of tea. Yeah, no, it's no joke. It's 32, or it's a liter, 32 ounces. I know there's a little difference, but either of those is close enough. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on there. Good stuff. Kind of a sweet taste. My wife actually really doesn't like this flavor for some reason that I just don't understand. And she won't tell me why she doesn't like it, because when we first got together, I had a beer that I really, really liked. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want to ruin it for you in case you like it as well. I had this beer that I really, really liked. I wanted to share it with her, see what she thought about it. And she took a single drink and she's like, it tastes like hot dog water. And I haven't been able to drink it since, because now that she said that, all I think is hot dog water. So that one kind of bummed me out. I was a big fan of that beer, and she ruined it for me with one sentence. Like, not even an offensive sentence, just one sentence ruined the beer for me. Can't drink it anymore. Makes me sad. Yeah. All right. Okay, we're good. That all looks really good. Everything there's going on. We've got a good number of people here. So I guess let's take a quick look. Also, I changed some things on the stream here that you may notice. So let's switch over to my desktop. Hey, there we go. Yeah. I did that to my wife with Caesar salad. That's funny. I don't speak metric. I'm a dumb American. Thanks for the conversion. Yeah. So a liter is 33.8 ounces, give or take. So, yeah, there you go. So this is the HomeDock.cloud website here. And we get it's a very bright page. It says take control of your data, and of course your data will change out with different things here. With HomeDockOS, maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. Maybe I feel like, oh yeah, take control of the cloud. There we go. Show us your Docker and other UI managing the NAS with. Like, so my main server is just Proxmox. And then my NASs are just running whatever default operating system is on them. It's nothing fancy. Like even my homepage is mostly doesn't work anymore. I'm actually using homepage, I think. And yeah, it doesn't work anymore. So, because I've changed so many things. Vaz says, sexy new layout looks good. Thank you. I've been watching, another creator a little bit recently, and and I'm ripping this guy off, and it's not intentional. I mean, it is intentional, but I really like the look of it. This way, I'm less likely to, like have my face laying over something that could be important if we're scrolling through and maybe there's a bit of information here. My face would be covering that and I wouldn't realize it until it was too late. So yeah, I set this all up yesterday. In fact, maybe I can, let me see if I can do this. Oh no, not that way. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a couple. Ooh, this is gross. But like I made a couple of marks. Do that and that. Let me do this real quick because I actually want to show you this because I want to make sure that I don't ever screw this up because I know I will if I hadn't done this. Oh, I'm never going to find that. I guess I'll just do it this way. Hold on, guys. Because like, I really, sometimes I have to do some really dumb stuff to make sure that I don't forget things. And if I don't do the dumb thing, the simple thing won't work. So I gotta go to kind of extremes every once in a while to get certain things to work. I'm gonna do this, and then can I just? Yeah, there we go. There we go. And then we can close this out. Yeah, we're gonna leave that. Give me just 1 second here, because it's the most ridiculous thing that I had to do here. There we go. There we go. All right, desktop. All right, cool. So in fact, I move this out of the way. CRS for real, dude. So much. So, all right, this is my monitor. Like I just took this picture. And right here where that blue tape is, you can see how that lines up perfectly with the edge of that browser window. And then across the top, same thing. That piece of tape lines up perfectly with the edge of that window. That is so that my stupid face can sit over here in the black area and not interfere with what we've got going on the video, whether it's a live stream or just a regular like VOD tutorial, whatever. So hopefully my brain keeps remembering to segregate this stuff appropriately. This is the first time I'm actually using it. I just did this yesterday. So let's talk about HomeDock. So take control of it's at the cloud, the future, all kinds of different stuff that you can take control of via the HomeDockOS, the Cloud OS to explore the cloud in a simple, secure, and accessible way. Turn any computer into your own private cloud and access it remotely from any device. I am curious about the remote access and how that's going to be facilitated. Again, I'm going into this completely blind, so we may have to do some crazy stuff to get it to work. But we won't know till we get there. It says upload and encrypt your files instantly and install over 200 apps with just one click. And if we scroll down a little farther, we've got some different examples of things that you can do. Universal by design, limitless multi-platform. If we scroll down, yeah. So like if we look here, free download, install on your devices, transfer from any device, install on any device, encrypted cloud storage, control access system logs, 200 apps, available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. So that's what we're going to do is we're eventually going to get into installing this. And so you can run it on their cloud if you want to test it out. You can install it on Windows via WSL if you want to go that route. I don't want to go that route. So we're not going to install it using WSL. I don't have a Mac, though I've had people offer them to me. There's Linux or there's Docker Compose. So you can install this with Docker Compose if you want to go that route. Again, I don't. We're actually going to install it this way. We're going to test it on Debian 12 and Ubuntu 2204 plus, and there's some more information there. We're going to install Debian again on the B link that's back there. Once we've got that done, then we can come back and run this script and we'll just see what happens. But before we get to that, I want to kind of dig around a little bit here first. So if we go to Discover, What is HomeDockOS? Originally, it was created for the Raspberry Pi. It brings enterprise-grade features to any computer with native support for Windows, Mac, and Linux. It lets you install apps, manage encrypted storage, and get started in minutes. No third-party platforms needed. It runs smoothly on everything from a mini PC to a full home server rack, making it ideal for any Windows Server, home NAS, or home server NAS, or custom home server setup. It's more than just a tool. It's a full cloud OS built for modern cloud computing, offering a self-hosted experience with total control over your infrastructure. Jordan says, it sounds like it's just time to spin up a new VM. I don't disagree with you. I want to make sure that I don't unintentionally limit things. So I'm going to install it on bare metal via Debian when we get there. So that's the route we're going to go, but I encourage you to dig in and do your thing here. It says getting started is easy with HomeDockOS, which replaces Docker Desktop on Windows and Mac OS. Again, WSL2 on Windows or runs via Lima and Co-Lima on Mac OS. I'm sure I may have got half of that right. Again, not a Mac person. And you're able to automate that full setup. So that's cool. If you were searching for a Docker install Windows tutorial, you won't need one. HomeDockOS Desktop handles everything for you. How does HomeDockOS enhance cloud and private environments? HomeDockOS blurs the line between public and private infrastructure, creating a real hybrid cloud. It offers a secure private cloud with full control over private cloud compute and storage, no vendor lock-in, which I love. In the private versus public cloud debate, HomeDockOS gives you both control and flexibility, blends isolation and virtual private cloud with the ease of virtual private server or managed private server. So you can deploy apps and services with built-in SSL backups and encrypted storage. That's awesome. They got an app store, which I think is great. It says integrated app store, makes it easy to install sensor services. Need a self-hosted password vault. Apps like VaultWord and KeePass XC are ready to install with one click. For mobile access, use a self-hosted password manager like iOS and Android. I will say this logo right here definitely gives me like iOS vibes. During some of the conversation we had yesterday, that was kind of instilled in me a little bit more. Installing HomeDockOS across devices. Getting started with HomeDockOS on desktop. Again, we're not going to do that. Let's come back up to here. Click there. What is CloudOS? Is that still this page? Nope. Just wanted to see advantages of self-hosting, cloud computing security, running Ollama locally. That's kind of cool. Cloud makers and tech enthusiasts, all kinds of great information here. So to the devs that are here for HomeDock, what we were reading here earlier said that it was tested on Debian 12. Oh, well, okay. Thanks, Baz. I thought that gave me iOS vibes there. But to the developers, for the HomeDock guys, what I read says that it's been tested and verified, I guess, on Debian 12. Has it been tested and verified or whatever on Debian 13? If yes, are there any issues I should know about? Or should I deliberately go for Debian 12? Or yeah, Debian. Should I go 12 or is 13 going to be okay? I guess that's my question for the HomeDock guys. Download Debian server. Oh man, let's see this one. That is for version 13. Codename Trixie. Debian installer has hybrid images, which means they can be written. Okay. Debian. Debian 12 is your go-to. Okay, let's see if I can find on here using a Debian cloud image, ISO images for Debian testing, net install. Let's see. I want to do AMD 64. This is testing. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do Debian 12 ISO. Let's do that. Oh, here we go. Maybe that one's the one we want. Let's take a look. Don't forget that you have to install sudo when you create a non-root user. Ask me how I know. That's funny. That's 13. There we go. Debian 12, here we go. Let's find. All right, so I'm guessing this is the one that we're going to want. Hopefully that will download. Cool, we're cruising right along there. Love that. That's going really quickly. There we go. All right, that is done. Have it running on Debian 13 over Raspberry Pi 4, and it works fine. Cool. That's actually good to know, Nestor. I really appreciate that. Screw it. Let's do this. Oops. Yes. There we go. I want to. I know. Is that going to give me issues? Yeah, next. That's fine. We're going to do. We're going to use a. Oh, I can't do that. Screw it. Let's not even mess with this. I don't know if I've got Rufus or. Rufus? No. What's the other one that we like? Rufus and screw it. I guess we're gonna get Rufus. Are you not a fan of Max? Look, I love the idea of what Apple has done. Belina, thank you, Mirandi. I appreciate that. You're right. It is Belina and Jordan and Nighthawk. Thank you guys. It's one of those days, you know. Let's do that one. Cool. And then we'll open this. Yeah, we'll install that. That's fine. I don't care right now. The device, again, we're going to use one of these little teeny tiny SanDisk USB drives there. Hey, look, that's the same one we installed MOS with. Yeah, we don't use Ventoy here. I don't install enough of this stuff on bare metal to make it worth dedicating a device to it. So we've got our 64 gigs there. We've got our Debian there. We've got our Debian there. All of this should be fine. BIOS or UEFI, all looks good. I'm going to click Start. Rufus has detected that your ISO has been selected, been revoked. We'll produce this. You should try and locate a more up-to-date version that will not produce this warning. Well, yeah, we're going to write it in ISO mode. That's fine. Different version of Grub. It may not be compatible with whenever it's possible, not include all. Rufus will attempt to locate a version of Grub installation using Core MG that matches. Select yes, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. Great. Okay. Are we gonna do this? There we go. All right, we're gonna give this a go and see what happens. This should all be fine at this point. Once this writes, it's actually going. Oh, it's formatting, writing, cool, copying. That's all going really well. Cool. I dig it. We're just gonna hang out, let this do its thing. Rufus CYA, yeah. Look, I appreciate that they go through all of that. Look, if I had downloaded 13, it probably wouldn't have thrown an issue or thrown up all those messages. But I want to go with what the developers have said is their go-to because I want to have the best chance of success here. So yeah, we're gonna run with this. We got through all their nonsense there on the Rufus stuff. So we'll give this a moment. I've never seen somebody write. And would think, sorry guys, I really gotta set that better. There's even a facial recognition thing in the camera that should recognize who I am based on what I've trained it with, which I know sounds crazy with this camera being as old as it is, but But yeah, so I'll have to get my wife out here later, have her sit down so I can focus directly on her, and then it shouldn't be an issue later. Vaz says, "Yay, wind went down from 70 to 100 with gusts, down to 40 with gusts up to 60. It means I can go out without defending myself." Yeah, dude, that's crazy. I am glad the winds have died down for you. We had something similar to that, not quite that high, a few weeks ago here in Colorado. Real glad that that didn't stick around for very long, because that gets dangerous. Like not just inconvenient, but like dangerous when you've got gusts that high. So I hope you stay safe, even with the lower speeds. I just don't see why she doesn't like that, but I don't want to know. Almost done here. It's actually going relatively quickly, seeing as how we're plugged into my keyboard. So that's, again, and I don't think with the previous setup, I don't think it had enough of something. Let's see. Wind chill here in Philly is -7. Dude, that sucks. It's actually going to be really nice today here. I think it's going to be like 60 degrees. What? That's stupid. It's currently 61 degrees with a high of 64. And I think that's going to, 61 degrees. That's, of course, Fahrenheit. And then throughout the week, it's going to go down a little bit, but yeah, not too bad today. We're having serious problems with rain and wind since 3 weeks ago. Several people have died over it. 80,000 people without power or comms for 11 days. Dude, that's brutal, man. I hope you're staying safe. Mental says that's -6 there. Don't like that. Yeah, 61 degrees Fahrenheit is actually pretty nice. This is the first time in months I've been able to be out here on a live stream without a jacket or a hoodie or a something. I'm out here on a t-shirt right now, so I'm real happy with that. Hopefully it'll stay like that. All right, cool. So we're good there. That has been completed. We're going to close that. Just to avoid any potential issues, I'm going to safely eject that. There we go. Jordan says, I'm in Vegas. I feel bad for everyone. It's been mid-70s for the past 2 weeks. Sirius Beat says, here in Spain, it's almost always sunny except for today. Isn't that it? Some random dude said, my servers keep me warm. That and living in Florida helps. Yeah, it, that would do it. Here in Colorado, like we'll have real cold for like a couple of weeks. And then it'll warm up to like 40 or 50 degrees. And then it'll be cold and that'll be like that for like a week. So we get these nice little breaks, when it gets real cold. And then like in the summer, it'll kind of do the same thing where it'll be like 90, 95 degrees, which in Colorado sucks because of the elevation. But then we'll get a couple of weeks of rain or some lower temps, and it's very moderate here, even with some wild extremes. So, yeah, let's do this. Let's come back over to here for just a second. I'm going to plug this in, and then we're going to reboot the device and get into the install. I'm going to actually pull this up. Damn it. Come here. I'm going to come over here. Cool. That's there. All right. Let's turn around. We're going to plug you in. You in upside down, don't you? Yeah, you do. You go in upside down like that. Cool. All right. We have some rain finally, but still too warm for any snow in the mountains. Yeah, we've had effectively no precipitation this winter, and it's got me worried. Oops. Let me do this. Tell you what, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get logged into here like that. And then we're going to go to settings. If I can remember, nope. I swear one of these days, system, nope. User boot, where is it? I don't remember. tools. There it is. All right, so here's what we're going to do. There we go. Now we're logged into MOS for right now, because what I want to do is click reboot and click OK. There's our tone. And then we're going to come back over here and we're going to take a look at this. It's stopping all these services. And then once it gets into, once it actually reboots, then I can start tapping delete. I'm almost positive that delete is the right button for this. Hopefully I am, yeah, I'm still plugged in or I wouldn't be able to see all that. So I'm just tapping delete over and over and over again. There we go. I want to set my boot. We'll go through this and get it fixed later. Maybe I can just do this and set that. And this way, hopefully, after we do the install, I should be able to it'll skip the USB boot and then go to the NVMe drive in theory, right? So we're going to say save changes and exit. Again, we're just going to do, man, did I get, is this the desktop version? I don't want the desktop version. Did I really screw that up that badly? I guess we're gonna find out. United States, that's fine. English is fine. Oregon will probably burn this summer. Yeah, my mother-in-law lives in Oregon. Vass says we had too much precipitation. I'd send you some way if I could. Yeah, at the moment there's still places where houses are over 3 meters underwater. Bro, that sucks. Man, I can't, I genuinely can't imagine something like that. It'll give you an option for a server install. Cool. Thanks, Nighthawk. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, with the elevation where I am, like I'm in Colorado, like I'm sitting at 6,000 feet right now, in elevation, but like the topography of where I live, like I'm kind of on a hill. So things would have to go like real sideways. Really, your network could not. Interesting. Maybe slowing your network hardware, maybe not working properly. Okay, so so this device has two different networking or two different LAN ports on it. One's a 2.5 gig and one's a 5 gig, I think. One is an Intel and one is the other one. So let me swap this and see if, or you know, the other thing I could do here. So we're plugged in there. We're plugged in. Tell you what, let me do this real quick. I'm going to plug in both of them, right? And then we'll restart that and see if that fixes it. And we'll go from there, because I'm not necessarily surprised, because this kind of stuff happens every once in a while. So we'll bring this around. Do I have enough? Can I get over to that? Come on. There we go. All right. And then we'll plug into here. Cool. All right. We've got that. Man. Yeah, Realtek. There you go. Thank you. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to send a keyboard shortcut of that. Maybe. That sure didn't work. You can, okay, everybody agrees that we can opt out of that. What if I click continue? We're going to retry that and see if that fixes it, because now I've got both the Realtek and the Intel plugged in. I don't know why it's trying IPv6. There we go. All right. So there we go. So our host name, I'm going to change this to HomeDock, just so that it's easier to recognize on the network. The domain name is going to be local. That's where you could put like com or net or whatever. So it'll be homedock.local as far as the identifier on the network. And then I'm going to give it a root password. Like so. So we've got that. We're going to continue. Full name for the new user is going to be me. And then we're going to click continue. Select a username for the new account. Your first name is a reasonable choice. The username should start with lowercase. That's fine. Username for my account going to be dbtech. That's fine. Cool. And then we'll click continue. Both server and desktop are the same ISO. See, I didn't know that. So that's something, I dig that actually. Though it makes it seem to me that they would overbloat the ISO unless it's pulling some of that from, unless it's downloading some stuff from the internet, which I guess it could do as well. Yeah, I'm in the Mountain Time Zone. So we'll click continue. All right. And then hopefully it will recognize all 5 of the drives that are in there. All right. So we're going to do, oh man. Yeah, I want to use the largest continuous entire disk. I don't want logical volume management. Guess we're going to click continue here because I want to use one very specific drive for this. Use entire disk, so that one. All right. We're going to click. I'm getting different things here because I don't want to use the largest continuous free space because I've got 2 8 terabyte drives in there, 2 1 terabyte NVMe drives, and 1 500 gig drive. And most of the time when I install Debian, it's as an LXC. Funny, I started using Debian 13. I bet. Okay, number 2. Let's go number 2. Hey, look, there we go. That's the one. Self-guided to let you choose. Yeah. All right. So we're going to install on this 500 gig drive. That's going to be our boot drive. And then we're going to use these other 4 in the middle for stuff. If we can get that far, we'll see what happens. We're going to click continue. All files on one partition. That's fine. I don't think I necessarily need separate partitions for home, var, and temp. I think all partitions in, or all files in one partition, probably going to be just fine for a very basic setup. So I'm going to click continue. Cool. There we go. It's going to go ahead and do what it's going to do. Whoa. Okay. Sorry, I'm just reviewing this. I just want to make sure that it's not going to have any effect on our other drives. I think this should be fine. Mental says all good. That's good. I appreciate that. The other drives still have the Btrfs RAID. Yeah, so that's good. So we're going to go ahead and click continue. That's kind of how I was seeing it, but I do appreciate the confirmation there. All right. So the partitions table is the following devices are changed, which is that 500 gig drive. It's going to do some partitions on there. Cool. Yeah, this all looks good. Do you want to write the changes? Yes, I do. I think it's great that no is selected by default. We're going to click continue. And now it's going to format and partition that drive. Yay. Cool. So then once this is done, then we should be able to reboot, pull the USB, boot into Debian, and then we should be able to run that install script, and hopefully we'll be good to go. So we'll just kind of hang out, see how things are going. If you guys wanted to do me a favor, and please don't feel any pressure, but if you'd like to, it'd be great if you give the video, the stream, a thumbs up. JD says, any reason for Deb 12? Because that's what the developers told me that their go-to is for this. That's all. I asked if 13 was reasonable, and they said that 12 is their go-to, so 12 it is. That's why. But yeah. Yep, I agree with Nightbot there. Drink. Okay, we're getting, it looks like it's chugging along just fine, so that's great. Glad to see that. All right, cool. So configure the package manager. I am in the United States. That is a true statement. I think using the default mirror is going, or the archive mirror is probably going to be fine. I don't need a proxy of any sort. Collins is here. Yay! That's awesome. Glad to have you here. You've got a glass, clear glass of your face is minimally blocked. You know, I hadn't considered that, but you know, you're not wrong. Um, yeah, no, so this is the guys that, or the team that sent me all of the fancy tea also sent me this. And it's really nice. Like it feels hefty. It's got a huge handle, which I really like. Yeah, big fan. And it's clear, so it doesn't hide my face as much as it should. Uh, Party's over, gotta leave. That's funny. I haven't had my coffee yet. Oh man, I can't imagine. I started drinking coffee at like 7 o'clock this morning. I had 2 cups this morning, and I still don't feel like it was enough. We're trying a different coffee. Like we've had it in the past. I typically drink a lot of Bustelo. I get the fine grind, like the espresso grind Bustelo in the yellow bricks. Been a big fan of that for like 20 years. And it's great. I love it. But my wife has recently, coffee upsets her stomach a lot all of a sudden. And we had gone to Starbucks, to get drinks like we do every Friday when we do our shopping. And she was talking to the barista, and the barista was like, "Hey, if you try like a blonde roast instead of a dark roast, that might help." So we're trying a blonde roast, and it's got a very different flavor profile from what I'm used to. It's still good. It's still fine or whatever, but it's very different from what I'm used to. So, already had breakfast with coffee and went to the grocery store for the week before the stream. That's quite a bit, man. That's like we do all of our shopping for the week on Fridays. So, head's gonna fly on Monday. That's funny. I'm out of coffee. That makes me sad. I like the medium roast blonde. Yeah. Look, even my wife was like apprehensive about the blonde roast. We're going to see how this goes with her, but we bought a bag, so we're going to get through it. We both prefer dark roasts, but, yeah. All right, configuring popularity contest. The system may anonymously supply the distribution developers with statistics about the most used packages on the system. Do you want to participate? No, I don't. And again, I appreciate that was no by default. Good on them for that. Going all organic with my coffee helped with upsetting my stomach. Yeah, look, and we'll keep trying stuff and see what happens. Excuse me. I haven't actually had a chance to talk to her about this yet. Okay, here we go. I don't want desktop, which means I probably don't need GNOME. I definitely want SSH and standard system utilities. I don't think I need any of these desktop environments or the web server. At the moment, only the core of the system is installed. To tune the system to your needs, you can choose one. Yeah, I think, yeah, okay. So I think we're just going to go SSH and standard system utilities. I think we're going to forego everything else. And click continue. Let this go. Yeah, untick GNOME. Yep, there you go. Cool. So yeah, no, I definitely prefer a dark roast. I want my coffee to taste like coffee, despite using a little use a little Italian sweet cream in my coffee, but aside from that, that's like all I put in it. So recap me real quick. Are we still on the base install? Yes, this is Debian 12 per the developers' recommendations. We were chatting about it a little bit earlier with them about that. So we're just doing the Debian 12 install. Once this is done, in fact, I can close out a bunch of this stuff now. Once this is done, then there's an install script for HomeDock that we will run to get that part installed. Looks good on the install. Outstanding. Hope her system adjusts and she doesn't have to give up coffee. She has given up coffee for the past few months. She switched to drinking a lot of like tea in the morning instead. But even that is not the same as drinking a cup of coffee. So All right, installation is complete, so it's time to boot your new system. Make sure to remove the installation media so that you boot into the new system rather than restarting the installation. Please choose continue to reboot. So we're going to do that. We're going to click continue. Requesting system reboot. Unplug. There we go. Beep. All right. I would go T before decaf. Yeah, I would absolutely go T before decaf. I can't. The only time I forego coffee is if I'm in the hospital, which has only happened a few times. Yeah, I just when I'm in. Otherwise, I drink coffee. We're using that's a good question, Collins. Let's come back over to here for just a second. We're using the B-Link again, just like we did last week with MOS or MOS or whatever. Using the same device. Some random dude heard the beep and freaked out, thinking something rebooted that wasn't supposed to. Right? Yeah. So we're gonna log in as me. Cool. Let's do an IF config. Crap. Isn't it IF config? Calling dibs on that one. We'll see. I've got some plans that you and I actually need to talk about with regards to that. Oh, is it just IP address? It is. I'll be damned. All right, and it's still 113. Outstanding. Yeah, IP. Oh, it's IP config. Yeah, IP config is Windows. IF config shouldn't work, but it's just IP address. That's funny. Oh, you guys can't even see my screen. I am so sorry. I tell you what. Now that IP-A, let's try. Oops, let's try that. IP. Whoa. IP-A. Yeah, that worked. Okay, that's even better. Awesome. Yeah. Outstanding. Here's what we're going to do. This screen sucks for you guys. I apologize. Let's open a command prompt. And let's do SSH dbtech at 192.168.0.113. Oh, I got to fix that real quick. Give me just a second here. See users. Yeah, see. I got to fix that. Users, me. View. Oh, there's that. Known hosts. We're going to edit that there. We're going to bring this over to here. And then we're going to do a search for 113. And then we're going to delete all of those lines because that's what we use. That's the same IP address that we had last time, but it's a different device. So for security reasons, it's like, hey, this is a different device. Yeah, right. Yeah, all I needed was the IP. So we're going to run that again, and we're going to say yes. Cool. All right. So now that we've got that, we'll leave this alone for right now. What we want to do is come back to here. We're going to get started for free. We're going to download and install. We're going to do Linux. Hey, look, there is our command. Zoom in a little bit there, make it a little bit better. Works so far on 2404.3. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Glad to know that that's working for you. Let me close this so I can kind of see what's going on here. I'm actually gonna make this approximately the same size, just so that it's easier for you guys to read, and so I can zoom in a little bit. So we're going to curl. We're going to grab this file from this URL, and then we're going to run it. Yeah. All right. So as Nighthawk said earlier, I'll have to install sudo. Ask him how he knows. So we're going to do apt install. Actually, let's do apt update. Apt update. Apt install sudo. Really? All right. So we're going to exit. We're going to change this. I guess we're going to log in as root to do those installs. If it's going to let me. Is it just Sue? There we go. Oh, Sue. Cool. Thanks, guys. So we're going to do apt update. There we go. This shouldn't. There we go. Apt install sudo. Oh, sudo. Oops. Cool. And then what was the other? Yeah, I just saw. There we go. Cool. And then what was it? Curl? Apt install curl. It's fine. All right. Yep. Awesome. All right. We're just going to run this as root because that's where my brain is right now. Awesome. Oh, all right. Hold on. It was gonna auto yes in that I want to read this. I don't want to feel pressured. Installing HomeDockOS. Sit back and relax. It may take a while. Detected Linux distribution. Debian 12 using default package manager apt-get HomeDock installation path root. HomeDock. The following dependencies will be installed. If not found, you want to proceed? Yes. That was all fine. However, I wanted to read it first. It's kind of a lot the first time you're coming at this. I might change that auto yes to maybe 20 or 30 seconds. But again, I like to, when I'm interacting with you guys and trying to do multiple things, maybe the 10 seconds would have been fine otherwise. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. So now it's going to auto install everything, I think. It's installing Git. That's cool. Downloading HomeDockOS repository from GitHub, which is great. Checking and installing apt dependencies, installing Docker. Installing Docker Compose. Love that. These guys look like they've done a really great job with really streamlining this installation process. Collins, you are such a rock star. Thank you for donating 5 gift memberships. That's really cool. So now we've got 5 new members from Collins. We've had one earlier as well. So thank you guys so much for that. Let's see. Nice script. How about a BSOD? Not seeing one yet, which is great. Let's see. Auto yes is part of HomeDock, not Debian. Yeah, no, I'm aware. I was just saying maybe 10 seconds probably would have been fine if I was solely focused on this. But, you guys are here, and I like chatting with you guys about what's going on. So, White Lotus 19, it's kind of luck of the draw. If somebody gifts memberships, you might get one, or for like $6, you can get one for yourself. Or for $1 a month over on Patreon, you can get basically the same perks with early access and no ads, that sort of stuff over there. Let's see. CTCS admin says, if I pay for cloud instances, how does the AI LLM work? What models work good? No idea, man. I've never used their cloud version. In fact, I've never used their self-hosted version. We're going into this completely blind. Vaz, dude, thank you so much for gifting 5 more memberships there. Thank you for that very much. Appreciate that. Okay. Whoa, it auto yes'd me. I'm sure it's fine. I was sidetracked there. Okay. So we can log in over there. User is user. Password is that. Okay, cool. All right. So all of this looks good. It looks like we're going to run on port 80, which is fine. I would ask the developers if they're still around, if native SSL has been considered. I don't know that it's a huge deal, but definitely a question that I would have there. Cool. So what we're gonna do is come back over to here. We're gonna remove that. Cool. Click to start. Excuse me. Dev is in the chat. Make sure you auto gifting. Oh, make sure you have auto gifting turned on in YouTube settings. I had no idea that was even a thing. So we said it was a user and, ooh, I love that background. I know that's a little thing, but a very cool little thing that it did there. Yeah, that's what I thought. PASSWD. All right. That's a pretty cool background thing you guys have done there. Well done on that. PASSWD. Cool. So we're logging in. We're not going to save that. All right. So, what's this? Something I'm getting vibrated at. Oh, all right. Cool. So, how is this different than Casa OS? I have no idea. This is literally my first time logging in ever. This is something I enjoy doing is doing one of these OS installs, these kind of dashboard auto installer home lab solutions. I like to go into them blind. This went remarkably well as far as the install was concerned, and I love that. So that's where I have no idea what's about to happen here. Like we're just going to raw dog this and see what happens. So the first thing that I really need to happen is not there. So one of the things that I do dig about this is, and what they were telling me when we were chatting yesterday, is that this is kind of a desktop feeling solution here, right? We've got a couple of icons. We've got a start button here that brings up something that looks kind of Mac OS-ish, or even a little bit maybe Windows 11-ish with the pop-up in the middle. We've got Home, Explorer, App Store. We're going to come back to that. We've got some shortcuts here that I think that's great. Theme. This is what I needed. I need. Of course, we're probably going to come back to the dark, but I want to. I lied. The arrow's pretty badass. And this is the, I'm going to minimize that. This is the rhino from the thumbnail, right? Let me ask you something here real quick. Would you guys be offended if, at least for a little while, I turned off the chat on screen so that we can kind of get a better view of this consistently rather than having all of this overrunning it? I really feel like the chat and the alerts need to get turned off at least for a little while on screen. Yeah, way better. Okay, let's do that for right now, just so that we can get a clear view of what's going off. Cool. Awesome. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. I want to make sure that this part goes off. Cool. Chat's in the way. I agree. When we switch back to stupid here, chat will come back and you can overwrite my face as much as you like. Cool. So here we are. We've got some alerts down here in the bottom corner. Notifications 2. Default user is detected. You're using the default user. Please change it in the settings. I love this. I might prompt that up on the screen as kind of a first thing to do, but again, no big deal. So these are both. It'd be neat if those were clickable too. Again, and guys, I am not trying to like nitpick. I just, when I see a thing that tells me to do something, I feel like it should click. But we're going to go to settings. We're going to go to user. Username, we're going to change that like so. And I'm just going to click save. I'm going to change it. Oh, I typed it wrong too. Please? All right, cool. I was afraid that that I had screwed that up. You're going to say something earlier. Dude, you're not going to be an ass for saying something. I want this to be a good experience for you guys. And if I've got something on the screen or something going on that is affecting the enjoyment or whatever, I'm doing this so I can fix that. We'll log back in. There we go. Please tell me. I would rather know the kind of things that's frustrating so I can fix it. There we go. And then no. Once we get logged in, awesome. All right, now we're going to change our password. And then we're going to move forward, but I do appreciate how easy this is. Cool. I love that there's two-factor authentication built in. We're not going to deal with that right now, but I am going to have to log back in here, I think. Maybe not. Awesome. Just change the user, I guess, for that. That makes more sense. All right, let's look through the settings again. So under user, we can change our username, we can change our password, we can enable two-factor authentication. Love that. Under system, we can change the port, which again, I also appreciate. Local DNS access, enable home.local, requires restart. We're going to leave that. Because that's the URL or the host name that we set up during the Debian install. Do we want to provide anonymous usage data? Yes or no? Again, I appreciate that this is off by default. Auto clean on update, delete old images when updating apps. That's cool. Delete images on uninstall. These are both going to be huge drive space savers. I love that. And delete volumes on uninstall, remove an app when data and user data when uninstalled. Okay, cool. Storage, cool. So default external drive, external USB, other disabled. All right, let's talk about this for a second. This is external storage, USB or external storage device. Disabled. I can't, there's nothing here that I can click. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't see anything else going on there. What is it yelling about now? Yeah, I did that. Cool. All right. So I'm not seeing select an external drive or disable to disable mapping. All right, so it's not recognizing my other drives. And I wonder if that's because they're pre-formatted and rated. That could be the issue. Let's see if there's anything else in here that might give us, no, we're not gonna go there just yet. Home Explorer, App Store, File Explorer. Let's look here. Drop zone, app drive, no apps available. That's fine. So I feel like we're going to have to manually reformat our other drive syslogs. Syslogs, let's see. Let's see what this looks like. All right. So we can see our temperatures. It's just started logging this stuff. I don't know what this is for. It's just a heartbeat, really doesn't collect any personal data, just the underlying OS, Windows, Mac, HomeDockOS version, and that's all. Okay, that's fair. Search records. So this is the IP with which I'm on right now for logging in. Logs are retained for 48 hours. We can see that down here. System logs, love that. So our temperatures, high of 37, an average of 35, and then a low of 33. So that's what's going on in syslogs there. And again, just some more information here. Nothing too crazy as far as what's going on there. So that's cool. And yeah, Nighthawk, I think you're probably right. Utilities, nothing there. Applications, nothing there. I was kind of hoping that there would be something in here in one of these submenus that would allow me to see them, but I don't see that. And it very well could be that it's the Btrfs or the RAID flag could be the issues there. Although I'm concerned here. Boot over to gparted for a moment, destroy those partitions. Working day so a little later. Well, glad to have you here, Geeky Dad. Appreciate that. Boot over to gparted for a moment and then destroy the partitions, right? That may be our option. Okay, so one of the things that I'm concerned about, and I may be very wrong. Part of the formatting, yeah, I was hoping to see something that's just the same. My concern here is that if I do a Control-C, like, is this going to cause me issues, or what's going on here? Because typically, as a Docker user for many years, when I see this, if I hit Control C, it shuts down the terminal window, but then also stops the container that was running. And I'm concerned that something similar may happen here. So I guess we're going to see what happens. Server shut down, sig term received. Interesting. Detached command. The problem is that was just part of the install. Like I didn't actually, I ran the install and here we were. There were no other commands run, but you're right. It would be in theory the detached command, but it's just weird to have that. So let's refresh. Yeah, and it's gone. Okay. Will close, but it has created a systemd service which will handle auto boot on restart. So, so if I check Discord, all right, thank you. I don't think I've even got Discord open. Discord. Hold on, White Lotus. Let's just give this a minute. We're gonna, in fact, let me jump over to here just real quick. I've got a dedicated thing here. Console. Oh shoot. Oh, yeah, that sucks. So that's fun. Yeah, not on screen. Yeah, no, good call. Appreciate that. So then I guess. So I'm rebooting. We're gonna give this a second. There's the beep. Let's see what happens. I'm definitely curious about this. Hopefully the reboot will engage the systemd. And then it should be fine on the reboot, I guess. Let's take a look over here. I'm apprehensive to show this yet. HomeDock login. Let's log in as me. Oops. Refresh. Okay. All right. So that part is good. So we're here. This is good. So let's do that. Let's get logged in as me again. Login successful. That's good. All right. Now, the other thing that we need to do here. Damn it. That's all right. Hold on. Let me clear my. Okay, so I think we're okay now. Let's come back over to here. All right, so because the first time it runs by CLI, after that the system service would handle the auto restart. Maybe we should simplify the install process and directly start. No, Nighthawk, I appreciate the setback. Actually, I missed it, so thank you for that. HomeDockOS. So maybe what you could do in that case, instead of having it still run on the CLI, like once it's installed, have it like do another reboot, just like have the systemd do its thing and then reboot. Maybe that would prevent that from happening in the future. Again, I'm not a developer. I used to do some front end stuff for websites every once in a while, but even that was 15 years ago. So, yeah. So what I need to do, and because I don't normally do this, is I need. Man, can I just do gparted from here? Or do I have to do? Oops. Or do I have to do something different? I don't. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. because normally I don't have to deal with this. Normally I don't have those drives already rated together. Just don't log systemd to the CLI after the install completes. Cool. There's a bunch of words in a row for you. Storage, downloads, favorites, app zone, drop zone. Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. So, what's the best solution here to get SDA, SDB, and NVMe 2 and 1? What's the best ways to get those reformatted quickly? Also, I want to see, do we have... Also, are there specific file formats that I should be looking for? I just need to install it. All right, well, let's try that. Let's do app to install gparted sudo su. What the hell do you mean? And now I'm not in the sudoers file. What the hell? I did this a moment ago and it was fine, right? Like, was I just doing it backwards? This is what happens, man. Thank you. Su. Oh, shit, you're right. Thank you again. I get in habits. I'm used to sudo being there. All right, so apt, we'll do update again. And then apt install gparted. That's fine. Yeah. Well, we got there. Driver, I'm missing something. Let's say DD just forgot. Yeah, so it's not. I don't think it's that the HomeDockOS can't reformat the drives. I think right now the problem is that they've got formatting on them that the operating system doesn't recognize. When we did the MOS install on this last week, we installed ButterFS and RAID, and I think that was part of the problem. So we're going to clear that. We're going to minimize this. We're going to do gparted. Can't open display. Let's see. Add user. Oh. It's not. I'm not. Okay. I just want to deal with the formatting right now. I don't want to get too sidetracked because my brain will erupt. So all right, hold on. Oh, you're good. Yeah, JD, thank you for that. I'm going to run that. Parted, not found. Awesome. Apt install. Parted. Yes. Clear the screen. Run the command. All right. It's hard because multi-platform, but will be available in a few months. All right. So we're rewriting. Okay, we rewrote something. Let's and let me. Damn it. LSBLK. Fdisk. True. Oh man, that is so much to try to dig through right there. What did we do? We did. Hold on. I'm looking for. So this is in theory the one that we did, right? With the command we ran, wipefs-a dev-/sda, which should have been this one. So then in theory, I would need to do the same thing. Yeah, we wiped it. Okay. So then I would need to do basically the same thing again with SDB. So I'm kind of doing this kind of off screen over here. SDB. So let's clear it. Let's do this. We're going to do this dev SDB, right? Parted SDB, make label, great. Primary extension or ext4 SDB 1. Cool. Let's try that. I'm going to give this a second. Wiping superblocks file. Okay. Cool. So that's SDA and SDB. Yep. Drives aren't supposed to be yet. It's under active development because it's, let's say, complicated due to multi-platform. Fair enough. Well, man, you're just making my life easy over here, JD. I appreciate you. So we'll do the same thing for NVM 0. Oops. I think NVM 0 is actually our OS drive, BLK. Yeah. So this is the one this is our operating system drive. So we're going to do a 2 and 1 on those. So we're doing like 1, and then 1, and then 1. Sorry, I'm changing this like that. There we go. Don't nuke the OS, right? I'm actually really glad. That was actually really fast. Holy cow. Then we're also going to do 2. Again, I'm doing this kind of over off screen here where I've already got it kind of copied. NVMe 2 and 1. That's fine. All right. Cool. And that one happened really fast. All right. So then all of our drives have now been BLK. Just want to, if I could type, there we go. And then let's do, I guess, fdisk-l. Sure, why not? I don't really see much else going on here, so whatever. So then I guess my question for the devs at this point, what is this? Oh, my question at this point for the devs would be, what is the process of mounting additional drives to the system? Because right now we've got a 500 gig drive as our operating system. We've got 2 8 terabyte drives. We've got 2 1 terabyte drives. I'd like to be able to attach something else to it. Is that something that we can do via the GUI, or do we have to do that via command line? Kind of wondering, or is that is it in the docs? I guess that's another thing that I could probably be looking at here. Installing applications, cloud instances, OS documentation, storage. Storage is a general purpose file system. Okay, provides familiar interface. Great. File browser. Okay. Search, multi-selection, context menu. I'm not really seeing anything in here about adding storage. Installation, configuration. Default. Okay. Okay, so there's a config file somewhere. And we need to edit that config file for the default external drive, right? That's what we've got here, it looks like. So then the question is, where is that file? cd, oops, HomeDockOS. All right, here we go. The name of the file is HomeDock_server. That's right there. So we're going to do nano HomeDock server. Cool. External drive. Here we go. There it is. All right. All I had to do was read the documentation. Go me. I think for the sake of simplicity here, we're going to do dev slash NVMe1N. Nope. I think that's the one we want. Right? OSBLK. No, it's going to be this one. I think this is actually because the documentation is like /dev/ SDA1, SDB1, whatever. So then that would make me think that it's actually this one that we're after. So we're going to come down to here, and I want to make sure that I get this correct. So I'm just going to do that, right? Cool. I think that's going to be correct. As far as external storage is concerned, it's weird. They should pop up on the storage settings directly. It should recognize. And okay, let's go back. I didn't actually go back into here. File Explorer. No, it was under settings. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. Settings, storage, disabled. Yeah, so there's still nothing else mounted here, apparently. But I did just reformat those drives and haven't rebooted yet. So maybe now that we've reformatted those drives, let's cancel. Let's cancel. Oops. Exit. No. Thank you. ls dev sd dev. Oh, there's a space in there. Dev / nvme. Oops. Come on. There it is. Okay. So it should be recognizing those. NVMe. It's not recognizing the NVMe drives, is it? No, but it is recognizing dev SDA, SDA1, SDB, SDB1. So we did all of this. We haven't restarted HomeDock. Did I? Oh, thank you. Hey, look, there we go. I tell you what, let's reboot and give the operating. Yeah, no, play for cake. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I fat fingered that. I'm just dumb some days. So we're just going to do a reboot now. We're going to let this reboot, and maybe that will get our drives to pop up. There's our beep. That's a good sound. I'll give this a second to do its thing. Fingers crossed, right? I'm going to delete this. Yeah, we're going to come back over to here. If you don't fat finger something to even... Dude, the number, the stuff that like is making sure that bad things aren't said, like is so aggressive. And it's YouTube. It's, although it could be my bot. Give it a second here. Interesting. Oops. Want to make sure we're still on 13. There we go. Give it a second. There it goes. Just took a second. Yeah. One success beep was my favorite sound. Yeah, that was just it rebooting. So we'll get logged in, DB Tech. Okay, so just there's our successful login. Not there. It's in settings, storage. Hey, look, there it is. Cool. Again, I think though, ls. Oh, you know what? Yeah, because I installed this as root. You're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, people like you. Thank you, Jordan. Sometimes I really need to hear that. Let's get logged in, or go over to here. We're going to do nano home doc server conf. So in theory, that should work. Cool. Or I can do disabled, do other. Interesting. Cancel. Let's see what happened there. Let's go back to settings. Let's go back to storage. Cool. All right. Well, it's recognized it there. That is, I think, at least in part, that I've changed this line in the configuration file. So there we go. All right. Let's try some other stuff now. We've spent a lot of time on that. All right, that's that. That's fine. Oh, hey, we haven't actually looked in here. Cloud storage, 456 gigs total. Now, it doesn't seem like this is recognizing the external storage, utilities. Sammy says, you're awesome. I learned a lot from your videos. Thank you. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not, storage, app drive, no apps available, all drive files. So here I'm only seeing our boot drive showing up here. I don't know if that is a limitation or what. Nothing really going on there. Let's go to the App Store. We've spent a lot of time messing around in here. Let's go to the App Store and take a look here. App Store looks clean. I really dig that. And again, I really like the desktop aesthetic here. I really do dig this. I actually want to see this. And I like that I can, again, it's just got our little icons across the bottom. So I like, again, I love the aesthetic of the desktop, or the usability of the desktop. It's an actual limitation of the moment. Okay, that's good to know. That will keep my brain from hyperfixating on that. So awesome. Let's find, pick an install location when things, all right, let's see what happens. Let's find something to install. Let's see. I kind of want to dig through here. We've got 182 apps available, which is awesome. I love that. Zipline, file hosting, Netbox, code server, Medusa. Because we've all been here and done this, except not shared it. I would be just the same, except me and the search on steroids having this convo. I would try Robipet. All right. Well, let's do that. Oops. Pet tracking and management. Cool. Let's do that. Let's install. All right. So, pet tracking and management. RobbiePet transforms the way you track your pet medical history, vaccinations, and vital information. That's awesome. That's actually really cool. All right. So, port mappings are going to be on. So, on the host side, the browser side of things will be on 29.7.24. The container side will be 80.81. So data, HomeDock, app data, RobbiePet will be our host path, and our container path will be this. HomeDock network. We'll probably just do bridge on that. Should be fine. Restart unless stopped. Love seeing that. Privileged mode off. Those raccoons are doing a great job, right? Cool. I think all of this looks good. This does very much remind me of like Dockage, of COS-OS, Zima-OS, those sorts of things, as far as the file structure and those sorts of things. Default username and password, good to know. Might be worth putting that in the little description here, as far as that information is concerned for default admin or default username and password. What is... Oh, or you can switch it over this way. That's really cool. I've never seen... That's a really neat little thing you've done there. What is this? Oh, it's just this. Okay. Takes you right over to that. That's awesome. So you've got the default credentials here. That's great. Again, I might consider putting them in the description here. But again, that's kind of that's a whatever. Let's click install and see what happens. Installing. Do give it a second. Again, I really love the aesthetic of this. I think it looks really, really good. Has a CASA or even a DSM OS feel to it? Yeah, a little bit. Cool. So that has been, hey, look at that. It even created a desktop icon for us. Open that up. Hey, check that out. All right, so admin 1, 2. Dude, that was dead simple. Tried COS-OS, almost the same. Yeah, COS-OS is kind of going away and being replaced with a Zima OS. Edge First Pet, Cloud. He's a Flame Point Siamese. White, kilograms, probably 5. Species is cat. Male, size, yep. Neutered, yes. Chip, no. I'd have to go find a picture of him somewhere. Did it install in the OS driver, the external? We're going to come back to that. I don't know yet. We're going to create the pet. Oh, birth date. So it was like 7/15. I think it was 2014, roughly. It's a rough estimate. Cool. And there he is. Neat. All right. Now let's find out. Dashboard, File Explorer. Open this up. Notes, videos, Drop Zone, App Drive, RobuPet. This doesn't tell us much as far as that is concerned. Yeah, I agree. Colin says this is slick. I agree. I actually really dig it because it's more than just an interface to install things. It's also more of a desktop environment, and I really do dig that. The other thing, yep. So if I... Interesting. Oh, she's bringing me hot tea. Thank you so much. Oh, that is super hot. Thank you. All right. So, sorry, I'm having a brain thought here. I feel like eventually, I'm going to close this. As you start to install more and more applications on this, I feel like the desktop is going to get cluttered. And I feel like we've got our installed applications down here, right? It would be neat if I could remove this. I don't necessarily need it on my desktop if I can have it down here. So it would be nice to be able to decide which apps are going to show up on my desktop. Again, I'm just throwing random brain thoughts out here because I don't know what that looks like from a coding perspective as far as making it so that it doesn't have to show up on the desktop. Because if we can have it down here for applications that maybe I just want my most the apps that I know I'm going to access the most on the desktop, and the stuff that I'm not going to access as often down here. I think that would be really cool. Because then you can take that customization even farther. Further. Technically, it's further, not farther. But yeah, but noted. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. But again, I love how easy that was to install. That was great. Utilities, storage, all files. Again, we talked about the drive showing up appropriately in the system settings being a current limitation. Totally get that. Not a big deal. Just checking. Definitely something that needs to be added to the next update. Cool. Awesome. Glad you guys are on board. Again, I'm just throwing out ideas. Tabs to organize the apps would be cool as well. It would be. Look, if I wanted, let me see, I don't have that in here. There's a desktop app called Fences for Windows, right? And I'm sure there are other applications and that sort of thing that does this. But basically with Fences on Windows, you can drag, here, let me do this. You can drag on your desktop and create a fence, right? And then you can drag certain icons or certain folders or certain things into Fences and keep things organized that way on your desktop. Again, I know I'm just throwing stuff out. And I typically don't keep any icons on my desktop either. I know this isn't a good indication of that. This is a fresher install while I was testing out this new mini PC. But yeah, Fallout 76. Yeah, my wife and I've been playing since like November. Lots of fun. But yeah, so if there was a way that, I've got too many things open here. If there was a way that you could like create a fence, because like I can, or can you kind of, new folder? Oops. Oh, geez, new folder. Oops, apps. Can I drag this into there? Oh, hey. Okay, never mind. That simplifies things a bit. Hadn't seen that yet. So that could be one way to handle it. Never mind. I stand corrected. So that seems to be a good solution for a problem that I created for myself. You guys are already on top of it, so that's awesome. Let me do that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I'm stoked. That's yeah, I could absolutely. Can I rename? Of course I can. No, that's very cool. Let's call it favorite apps, right? And then we could have another folder that's just like, that is twice I've done that. Other apps. Cool. Let's go ahead and install some other apps. Let's go back to our app store. Here's one that I want to try. I want to see. And now I've lost it. There we go. Oops. AdGuard. Oh, wait. We have AdGuard Home Sync, but not AdGuard. Okay. Pi-hole. Cool. Let's try Pi-hole. And I want to try Pi-hole because we tried Pi-hole or AdGuard last week in MOS, but the operating system had already reserved port 53 for DNS stuff internally, so I wasn't able to install it. Let's try to install this. We're just gonna go basic. We're gonna try this because I want to see if HomeDock already has port 53 reserved, because that might be something else. No way. It really. All right. Sorry, that maybe came across as me being a bit of a dick there. I apologize if it did. Let's see. Retrying. Okay. Retrying too. Which makes me wonder. Yeah, I agree. I use AdGuard on my network. Um, I used to use Pi-hole. Let's come down to here. DNS mask. Is it? I think. And querying from non-local. To cap system insufficient privileges to set system time. That's fine. Yeah, look, Pi-hole is great. I just actually prefer the interface of AdGuard. Do listing on port 53. All right, well then can we change the settings on it? Restart, update, refresh properties, maybe? That's actually pretty neat. Wow, let's talk about that for a second. So I right-clicked and I went to properties, and here it's showing me how much CPU, how much RAM, how much network, access and ports, access. Yeah, I feel like maybe I can't edit that. Actions, restart application, files. Okay. Putting that there. Interesting. I wonder, let's try that. Let's try something different here. Let's uninstall this and then we'll reinstall it. Mirandi, we'll try that. If this doesn't work, we will absolutely try that. Let's go here. Let's click install, but let's run it as privileged. Yeah. I understand. Because there was, let's also change this to my local time zone here. I know that doesn't make any difference in the grand scheme, but let's do that. Let's try this and see what happens. It's because Pi-hole need admin at the end of the, okay. All right, let's give that a try then. Okay, so we're gonna run that. Oops. All right, so it's still doing its thing in the background. That's fine. We're gonna close some of this stuff out. Drag this over to here. Ports disabled. Or maybe I just complicated things by running it privileged. Oh no, that's. Oh, there it goes. Access. Retrying. All right, let's add admin. Maybe. Cool, there it is. All right, password. All right, but I need to look at the logs to get the password if I remember correctly, because that's how this works. If I remember right, view logs. Started. I feel like it's irrelevant. We got it to work, right? That's all that really counts here. Let's drag you over to there. That's cool. I also want to look at this. If I do properties on this, I want to look at that. Dude, that's great. Okay. All right. We've got a couple of other things going on down here. All right. Learn how to share easily. One of the things, okay, so we've installed a couple of apps. That's cool. Let's go to our file explorer. All right, we've got documents, downloads, music, notes, photos, and videos. Let's open videos. Nothing there. We're going to fix that. We're going to open up, we're going to come over to here, onto my Windows drive. We're going to go to videos. That is a very small video. These are all very small videos because of the compression that I use. Sure, let's drag that over there. That was cool. Now, can I? Nope. Okay. Wanted to see if I could play it. Not a big deal. But it re-downloaded the file for me, and that went really quick too. So that worked. Pictures. Let's go back. Let's go to storage. Photos. Sure. There's me. Okay. So it opened that. Man, I looked like hell that day. I mean, more so than normal. Pictures work. That's awesome. I don't think, you know what I do? I do have this somewhere. Music. This is, okay. Storage, music. Upload a WAV file that's 23 megs, and that's there. Cool. I dig the visualizer, guys. That's really neat. But yeah, so let's close that because you guys are getting blasted with music. I apologize. I didn't realize desktop audio was turned on. Music works, pictures work. No video player that I saw, but that could be, again, a file extension codec issue there. Not a big deal. That's awesome. Okay. See Chris Evans when I look at your videos. I appreciate that, but you may need new glasses if you're not already wearing new glasses. You might consider that. But again, thank you. I appreciate it. Oops, pie hole. All right. Oh, hey, that's kind of neat. App drive. All right. So storage. Okay, we've kind of looked through some of that. Applications. We got Home Explorer. Let's open Explorer. That was over there. All right. Try typing to search across HomeDockOS. Video does not work. You can try an MP4. Yeah, my I don't know. I've probably got an MP4. Hold on. I know I've got an MP4 because that's what all of my actual videos are. That is an MOV. Let's go back to here. Let's see what I can do here. Stupid driver. Is that an MOV? Okay, that's an MP4. This was, okay, so let's do this. Let's go back over to videos, right? This was a video I took with my dash cam. That's an MP4. Let's run this. Hey, look, this guy, he had a bad day after this. Let's restart that so people can see what's going on, right? So I'm driving. It's just me and my wife in the car. This was a month ago. No, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever. We're driving down the road, and this Volvo comes up next to me, and I see him in my rear view, and he's driving like a big bag of dicks. So then we can watch this play out. He passes me, wants to get through, passes this SUV, keeps going down the middle lane, tries to pass the next car. Next car doesn't let him, locks up his brakes for like 200 or 300 feet, hits the curb, blows out his driver's side front tire, almost hits another car, and then pulls over. He's done damage to his car, and now he's not going anywhere quickly. This is the edited version where you can't hear me and my wife swearing repeatedly. There's no audio in that, but MP4s play great, so that's awesome. It's a nice way to meet his maker. Yeah, dude, like I posted him all over the local Facebook groups. That video, I think last time I looked on Facebook, had like 22,000 views and lots of people just mocking him. Yeah, so cool. So MP4s work, MOVs don't. That's, I think, fairly understandable. So all of that works. Karma, yeah, right? We've shown that music works. That's all awesome. What else we have over here? File Explorer Packager. What is Packager? Oh, wow. All right. So we can create a little package here. I don't know how I would use this. It's a dot. Oh, so this is like creating is this like a custom thing for HomeDock? I wonder, like a custom like app installer manager builder thing. I know I used a lot of dumb words there, but I think you know what I mean. Cool. What else we got? Packager Control Hub. What is this? Okay. Oh, this just shows us what we've got running. What is this? Cool. So this just shows us what apps we have running. We can edit the config. That's cool. What else can we do? We can view logs. Awesome. We can export the config into a YAML file. We can click keep. That's fine. We can import a config. Neat. That's pretty cool. Dig that. What else? System logs we looked at. Yep, failed. That was me. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm looking at logs here. Oh, it's for uploading your own Docker Compose if it's not in the App Store. Okay, good to know. So here we can see the successful login attempts, and when you've got a successful login attempt, the username that was attempted is hidden, which is great. I actually really like that because if somebody does manage to compromise your system, they won't be able to see all of the different users in the logs that way. Or at least that's kind of the microcosm. It's how I'm seeing this right now. However, if you, the admin, log in here and see that somebody tried a username and it didn't log in, you can see what they tried. So that's cool. Packagers are internal tools to let everyone add your own apps to the HomeDockOS App Store, but also bulk custom app store apps. That's awesome. That's really cool. I may have to spend some more time on that. All right. So system logs we've looked at, settings we've looked at, I think. Yep. And then about. All right. HomeDockOS, your personal cloud operating system, private, secure, universal platform. Great. Version, copyright, license, polyform strict license, all kinds of stuff here. Kinds of stuff there. Try a cloud instance, Prism, window manager, open source licenses, backend. Cool, man. This is really great. I really dig this. Again, I love the aesthetic. I love the desktop feel to it. I really do dig what you guys have been doing here. This is great. And again, this only popped up on my radar recently. I've been chatting a little bit with the guys from. Let me make sure I don't get this wrong. Let me find it. Hold on. For here, because I will feel like a total jackwad if I get this wrong. Hold on. Yeah, servers at home. In fact, I think servers at home should be linked in the video description down below this live stream. They had some questions for me, and we've been chatting a little bit over the last few days. And I saw that they had done a video about HomeDock, and again, just genuinely surprised that it's never crossed my radar. It's got 538 stars over on GitHub, which is great. I think I have that linked in the video description, but I could be very wrong about that. If not, definitely go check out the GitHub. I'll try to share that 3 times so it's easier to find. I've already started because, again, I think this is great. Really, really loving what you guys are doing here. You know, seeing updates from as recently as last week, which I love. This is the image that I used for the thumbnail for the video, for the live stream. I kind of wish I had grabbed it from here. I like this quite a bit, just so it would have been a higher resolution image or whatever. But reset app or icon position, update all apps. Interesting. What is currently updating? Oh, there's a little system monitor down there too that I had missed entirely. Man. All kinds of stuff just kind of hiding from me. Obviously not on purpose, but because I've been looking all over the place. Love seeing all of this. Again, looking forward to getting the storage thing sorted whenever you guys have an opportunity to do that. But really, really digging what you guys have got going on so far. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Right. All right. This is very, very cool. Oh, that's fences. That's that's what we were looking at. That's very cool. Perfect for those who have an old PC laying around and want to self-host. Yeah. Well, that was part of the, the documentation that the stuff that was in their information here, right? Man, I don't remember where it was. Right here, right there. Originally, it was built for Raspberry Pi, so it had to be very lightweight. And using Debian as the foundation also keeps it light. Try Atlas. That was the other app. Okay, fair enough. Thank you. So I know there was something else, but it escaped me. Let's go to the App Store. Atlas. Is it this one? Yeah, that's the one. All right. So can we? Okay. The Atlas is a procedural generation engine designed to create vast, complex galaxies and universes. Well, how can you say no to that? All right. So we're going to do OS network. That's fine. Enable P2P. Okay. Privileged mode. Let's install it and see what happens. Definitely curious about this. Collins, I appreciate you refreshing me on that because I saw it and I knew there was something else, but I couldn't for the life of me remember what it was. I'm going to give this a second. One other thing that I might consider, again, I know this information is probably over here. For those who are trying to be resource conscious, is it possible for the devs to put something either in the description? Is there some way to call in how big the Docker file is, or how big the install, how big the size of the install might be? Again, I know that some people are going to be very conscious about data usage for downloading things or storage on their system. Is there a way to have that available here so that people can be aware of what they're about to download? I don't know. I'm just throwing out random ideas. Cool. Let's close this. Let's minimize that. Let's look at the properties on this. Okay, we're up and running. Let's click access. Okay, it's thinking. Ooh. Atlas Initialization Protocol, Quantum Navigation System Startup Sequence. The core continuum. Will you journey through a shared universe or forge a new one of your own? Venture into the primordial universe where time and space converge for you, exploring the vast cosmos we all traverse as a single entity, or generate a personal universe with its own seed and cosmic origin time, a completely unique creation entirely shaped by your decision. That's a lot of pressure to put on someone, man, because I want to do both at the same time. Maybe that's just my brain. Screw it. We're gonna go to the core. Whoa. Holy cow. All right. All right. That was, wow. Whew. Maybe a flash warning for those who might be susceptible to flash-induced seizures. Little flash warning might be a good idea. I apologize to anybody who just had a seizure. All right. Yeah, epilepsy, right? Thank you. That's the right word. That was really neat, but I don't know what's happening now. So, Atlas Navigation System. Navigate through infinite galaxies, solar systems, and planets. Enter coordinates to begin your journey across the universe. So we've got our local seed with this. We've got a local bit, time sense bit, universe. Wow. So okay. Okay, so we're in a galaxy, and I can zoom in. Oh, hey, what is that? Oh, I want to go there. Oh, geez. I want to go there. Can I? I really want to try this one on Proxbox nodes and Galaxy. Yeah, man, that's right. Sir Speed's my fault. No worries, man. Wow. You can spin it, and then you can zoom in. Is this a black hole? Oh, that's a planet of some variety. Just as an observation, the GUI looks AI created. Well, I don't have any thoughts on that necessarily, but I do have a lot of, wow. That's nuts. Scroll to zoom, drag to rotate, escape to close. That is, I want to see something here. Definitely not the Milky Way, right? Oh, darn it. This is what I wanted to see. Kind of what was going on here. Wow. Okay. Neat. I use AI a lot so I can recognize it helps. It likes purple gradients. That's funny. And then it just kind of spins for us. That's really cool. Let's back out of that. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, these are different systems within the galaxy that we're in. Let's look at this one. And let's go there. That's really cool. I'm really glad that this was recommended and then I was reminded of it, because that's great. That's really neat. And you can like, you can actually see where the planets are based on what day it is, basically. That's really cool, guys. I dig that a lot. Oh, and then there are planets, so we can go, and that's okay. Let's look at the planet then, right? Wow, that's a trip. You can see what elements are there. Temperature, whew, very cold on that one. Wow. Oh, and then you can just kind of like toggle through each of the different. What's going on here? Type. It's a swamp, huh? Wow, that's really cool. It makes me feel like Skynet just gained sentience, right? That is bonkers. Let's go back. Let's go back. We go back to here. There we go. Okay. There may be some flashing. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I wasn't sure what was going to happen there, and I wanted to warn people in case it did that crazy flash thing again, because that was really neat. But I wanted to have at least a little bit of a warning that time. That's bonkers. I've never actually seen anything like this, especially not as a self-hosted app. There are 55,000 pages. Are we for real? Wow. Dang. Sorry, I'm truly enamored with this. Um, that's really cool. Sorry, just kind of reading across the bottom there. You might have to install just for this app. Maybe the AI that designed the GUI is a major Prince fan, or that's funny. No, this is really cool. Explore this universe. Total peers, valid universes, last update. If you're behind a private connection, probably make sure to open Atlas port to allow communication with other multiverse instances. Yeah, that's really cool. I really dig that. Oops, that's that. I haven't looked at Casa or SeamOS in a while, but this seems cleaner to me. Yeah. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mug. Yeah, like we've had this for years. Yeah, love the mug. Just, lots of fun. But and so we have two requirements for coffee cups or mugs or whatever. They have to be like 18 ounces, and they have to be fun, right? Like I don't want a small white cup. That doesn't intrigue me at all. So yeah, having a big mug that I can fill full of whatever I'm drinking. Did I say maybe 16 was the one I was looking for? I don't know exactly what size it is, but I don't like the really small ones, and that's way too small. Maybe 15 is the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, I don't like just the small. They just make me have to get up and waste more of my time refilling my drink faster. So yeah, I definitely prefer the larger cups. Let's come back over to here. Right, there were actually some apps that we didn't. I remember seeing it, but I don't remember where it was. It wasn't under App Store. You better check these out. That's funny. App Store, File Packager, My Home. Nope. Oh, here it is. Notepad. Okay, dig that. All right. Calculator. Sure enough. You say Minesweeper and Solitaire. Oh, balls, you're right. My bad. Thanks, Baz. Appreciate it. Having a moment. But yeah, My Home and then Notepad, Calculator, Image Viewer. Yeah, no, that's really cool. This is a note. Save. We're going to call it, this is a note. Saving in storage /notes. Okay, so we're going to come over here. File Explorer. Notes. This is a note.txt. There it is. Oh, Nighthawk, you got your new work desktop. That's awesome. Very cool. That'll be fun for you to set up. Utilities. Oh, it's also right here under utilities. That works as well. Brusher. What is Brusher? Oh, it's Paint. I mean, it's Brusher, but you know what I mean. Can we? Yeah, it sure is. That's, oops. Oh, it's got the new Ryzen chip. That's awesome. Oh, and we can change that, right? Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, excuse me. That's pretty cool. I am super stoked about this. I mean, not Paint, just the whole package that we're dealing with here. Saved it. All right, so it's in storage photos. It says storage photos. Sure is. There it is. HomeDock looks great. Can only get better, right? No, I think this is amazing. I think I am both happy and sad that this is just now showing up on my radar. I'm sad because obviously I would have loved to have known about it sooner, but I'm happy that we're getting to review it now. I'm happy that it's falling on the heels of other live streams. I'm also super happy that the devs were able to be here on a Saturday afternoon. Again, I'm I believe you guys are located over in Spain for the most part. I don't know that to be true for everybody on your team, um, but love that you guys were able to hang out and help us kind of go through this. And you see there, there we go. This is the, oh, you know what? There was something else I wanted to look at. Again, I think there's a couple little tweaks that I would have to see before I could fully make the switch, right? Getting the storage thing sorted, I think would be important. I wonder. All right, so we got some different pictures here, but I think once the storage thing is sorted, yeah, that's great. I love that. Or you can upload your own. RAM is more expensive than gold soon, right? That's not far off. Let's look at this. Just very basic there. And then the default, which was too bright. I really do like what you guys have got here. Yeah, no, definitely keep an eye on it. I think this is amazing. System, right, host name. All right. Proxmox and Proxmox, sort of. It depends on how you install it. But again, I really do dig. I really dig where it is for right now. I look forward to seeing where it goes in the future. Would love to see the opportunity to have more storage settings in here, but I don't want to. We've talked about that. Again, I love that I can create folders on my desktop. The one thing I guess I haven't seen now that I think about it is backups. I haven't seen anything about backups. Am I missing something there, or is that a roadmap feature with regards to backups? That would be really depends on the amount of containers that you install. That's true too. I've actually already done that. Cool. See. The desktop experience could be the default for Linux. Very nice. Dated. A lot more apps to make. Yeah. I agree. Backups are what can be missing from most cloud OS systems. Yeah. So then backup for each image can do in Control Hub. Okay, well, let's go look at that then. Image can do in Control Hub. So I can export a config. Okay. Import config view. Did notice, can you add network storage instead of only? I'm not seeing any option for network storage at this point. You might be able to do something like in the terminal with a remote mount, and then change the and then map it here. That might work. But of course we haven't tested that yet. We're just doing real basic stuff here. And I agree with what Nighthawk said there. Need to be able to export the YAML and the data folders. So and again, you could probably do something in the terminal here with, running backups that way. But again, I think if you're trying to appeal to a broader audience, you're going to want to have that ability built into where people are going to spend the most time, which is going to be the GUI. So having the ability to mount something remotely, like a folder or a network share, and then backups are in the docs. All right, that's fair. Starting to back up your instance in a new backup button. Okay. Restore, delete. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Where's the backup button? I think that's, that's point noted. Package or File Explorer App Store. That's not going to be there. Oh, it's this one making noise. Okay. Settings. I don't see a backup button. As noted in here, Home provides several options for managing backups, each designed to give you the flexibility, creating a backup, starting the backup of your instance at any time by clicking the backup button. Okay. New folder, refresh, reset app. Okay. Where would one find said backup button? That's the question I think I have at this point. Can I? No. Properties, refresh, pause, restart, stop. Oh, that's for the subscription tiers. For self-hosted, it's under development at the moment. Okay, that helps. And I totally understand that your paid tiers, your subscription tiers are going to take priority. I get that. I'm not even gonna try to say anything negative about that. You got to make your money, and I get that. Cool. Well, then I look forward to that being added to the self-hosted version. I'm actually going to click watch. Issues, discussions, releases. So you guys don't necessarily do releases in that regard, do you? And again, that's fine. I was just thinking over here. Well, I've got at least that watched for now. I should get notifications. Don't participating in mentions. That's fine. Oops. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Well, again, looking forward to seeing some of these things that we've talked about today being added to the self-hosted version, because I think this is a really, really cool project. I really, really dig. I love the aesthetic. I love the desktop feel to it. I have seen other self-hosting platforms that have claimed to have a desktop feel to them, though I can't necessarily think of any that were done this well. And that's not me trying to just be gratuitous for the developers that are here. I really do mean that. Most of the time when I see that, it's like halfway there, and I feel like this is much closer to like 75% of the way there, with some of the, I don't want to call them shortcomings, but some of the things that haven't been implemented yet. I think as those things are added, we'll get closer and closer and closer. And I think eventually this could be a very, very substantial thing for people who want to have a very easy way to get into self-hosting. Like, we saw how easy it was to install Debian. We saw how easy it was to run the script with just the install script, that one-liner, minus some stupidity on my part, as far as like formatting drives and that sort of thing. Because again, I'm very much a GUI kind of guy. I think this has got a lot of potential to help people get into self-hosting without needing a lot of understanding of like how to run commands and that sort of thing in the terminal. Dave's channel says, can we run instance of AI on self-service home lab and have the paid cloud match up? I don't know, man. I would definitely be curious to see what the devs have to say about that. I would love if Proxmox had a GUI like this. I can dream, right? Yeah, I don't think Proxmox is going to make any big changes to their GUI, to their interface or whatever. I just installed Ollama and OpenWeb UI in Docker. Did you do that on here? Is that something you did in HomeDock? Don't touch my Proxmox GUI. That's fair. Um, yeah, there's Ollama. Ollama GPT is right there that you could install. And again, so I think one of the issues that you'd run into there. Oh, responding to the other GUI. Gotcha. Okay, other guy. Yeah. Um, don't see Open Web UI there. That's fine. I would also be curious about handling hardware acceleration through like GPUs. Whether that's like I'm currently using an NVIDIA. It's under the Ollama GPT. Yeah, I just saw that, but I know there's a delay here. But I'd be curious about doing like hardware pass through for like GPUs, so that you could do transcoding on Plex or Ollama or things like that. I'd be curious about how you guys might handle that as well. Because I think that would be interesting. NVIDIA, no, all right. Just kind of what else do we have here? But again, I say a lot of stuff as I'm looking through these as kind of like want to haves. When I'm looking at an operating system, it'd be really nice if it had X, Y, or Z. But you guys have got 182 apps available in here at the moment, which I think is amazing, with the option to add your own apps, where you can do that. It would also be neat if a person could just copy and paste a like a Docker Compose in here somewhere. Because you can drag a YAML file here, but if I've already got something over from somewhere else, it'd be nice to just be able to copy and paste a YAML file or a Docker Compose in here. But again, this is more stuff that I would like to have that doesn't necessarily reflect the desires of the general population. So let's see. Intel IGP works well for acceleration on the low end under Linux and is well supported. That's good. Testing Alaris OS with the config is not as easy as this OS access. Yeah, Alaris is cool, but it's kind of a beast of its own. I think I only used it when I was reviewing the Alaris 1 hardware. But I looked kind of through their GitHub and that sort of thing, and saw that the installation was quite a bit. What OS? It's more we don't need it. Okay. But yeah, I think again, like I've got so few things that I think I would change. Oh, let's look. Hey, there's AI right there. Let's come over here. Let's see what we've got. Nice. Sorry, I saw AI here. We were talking about a little bit of AI earlier, and I see Ollama folding at home, which I think is great. Boink and Perplexica. Yeah, very cool. Let's install that. Let's see if we can get those fans going. That's fine. There it goes. All right. But yeah, guys, well done. Like I'm genuinely impressed with where things are now. At some point in the future, we may do a dedicated video on it. That I would just upload that would be maybe 20 minutes long and not I don't even know how long we've been at this now, 2.5 hours. But I really do dig what you guys have done so far. And I genuinely look forward to seeing where it goes in the future. I really love the interactive background there. I know it's a dumb little thing in my brain, but I really do dig that. No folding machines found. Login or install the client software. Cool. Please use shields down for using Brave. That's funny. Huh. Oh, that's weird. Huh. All right. Was just curious of what would happen there, and it took me over here, and I don't have an account or anything here, so it's whatever. But yeah, guys, well done. Like I'm genuinely excited to keep tabs on this and see where things go, and see where you take it. Like I'm sad that this is the first time I'm ever seeing it, but I'm glad I'm getting to see it and got to take you guys along with me on this. This is pretty cool. Just ran the curl command. That's awesome, Collins. Maybe I need to turn that down back there. Yeah, I think the problem is I've got my hair light too bright, and if I could get my finger to work that one, I think it's trying to pick up on that sometimes, and I think that's the problem that's causing the focus thing. I need to change that just a little bit. But was there anything in here, whether it's the devs or you guys hanging out with us today, that I missed that you wanted to see? Anything like that we want to go back and take a look at before we consider wrapping this up? I would be happy to go back and take a look at whatever you guys want to take a look at before we wrap this up. Man, I'm apprehensive. So sorry. There's such a latency there, almost 30 seconds. Part of me wants to next time switch to the ultra low latency, but then you lose some functionality. Excuse me. Yeah, such a great setup. I'm going to watch this for a bit, hoping to install before next month. That's awesome. Yeah, I would be curious to see what you think about it as well. Because like the interface is great, the install process is great, minus a couple of little things that they're already aware of and working on. I really do think HomeDock's got a lot of potential to simplify things for people who don't want to get into the weeds with YAML files and command line stuff. Like, I'm a big fan of learning those things just in case something goes wrong. But not everybody needs that. Not everybody, sometimes people just want a couple of apps on a very basic system, and that's all they want. And I think that's fine. And I think this would be a great way to get people started, on getting into self-hosting. So, no, very, very cool project. All right. And again, looking forward to seeing where it goes. Sorry, something's missing, but it's not. I thought something was missing, but it's not. I guess that's the better way to say that. Oh, geez. So then, yeah, I guess if you guys don't have anything else, like we definitely went through and looked at quite a bit here. There's so much more to look at, though. As far as different ways you can install it, their documentation is extensive. It looks like, so if you got questions, you can definitely do that. It looks like they've also got a Discord that you can join if you want to go chat with them over there. Upcoming feature, automatic recurring backups. Oh yeah, upcoming feature right there. There you go. Home instance includes one backup snapshot, advanced instance, professional instance, quantum instance. Interesting. Very cool. Yeah. So everything should be linked in the video description if you want to check all of that out. I want to thank Jan, Collins, and Vaz for gifting memberships today. Those memberships actually go a long way in helping support what I'm doing here to help offset the low amount of money that AdSense actually generates. So again, gift memberships and that sort of thing, really super helpful. So I appreciate you guys for donating those. But yeah, I've had a great time today. Again, I want to thank you guys for hanging out and spending some time with me. I want to thank the developers for taking part of their Saturday afternoon to hang out and listen to me go on about their project for a bit. So yeah, I think that's where we're going to wrap up, guys. Again, you guys are rock stars for all of this, and I really do appreciate you. So again, if you got questions about HomeDock, definitely check out their documentation and their Discord. If you guys want to come hang out with us over in the DB Tech Discord, all of that should be linked down below as well. So yeah, I think that's where we're going to wrap it up. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Really do appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you again here really, really soon.